Okay, so we're going to start with our introduction. Okay, so in our early 21st century, the extent to which people should be living in large homes is often debated. Okay, so in our early 21st century, the extent to which, this is our structured sentence. We're just following our guide. People should be living, it's the topic really, is often, should be living in large homes is often debated. So we just did a direct introduction there, directly to what the topic asked us to do, so we started directly. Any questions about this sentence?
No.
And Agatha will just follow along. And if you have any questions on vocabulary or something, please ask. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So next, we want to give general views. We always like to say the common opinion. Common opinion is that. So this means, what do most people think about this topic? I think most people think that people should dwell in homes that are comfortable for them. Dwell. Dwell. What does dwell mean?
Habitat.
Habitat or live in. Yeah. Okay. So in general, this sentence says most people think everyone should live in a home where they feel comfortable.
That's a relative. This is not really choosing, right? Because
Yeah.
a small home it might be right? Or
So Andrew is saying I'm not choosing a. It's not choosing a side. Yeah, it's not choosing a side.
yeah, but you a common opinion is one side, and from the other hand, opposite.
Oh, okay. So do we need to put both sides in the introduction? Not really. You can be general. General is general. And you don't need to say general is one agree and one disagree now. We can save that for the essay. Okay? Yeah, the intro should be general. But you could say a common opinion is that people should dwell in large homes because they are comfortable. Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, I see what you're saying. That people should dwell in large homes because they are comfortable. Yeah. Now, the other side, while from another perspective, some environmentalists posit that we should we should prioritize no, not prioritize. Minimize building large homes to preserve nature. Okay. Okay, so the other side here is a little more stronger, while from another perspective, some environmentalists posit that. This one is we say some environmentalists. So we think more academic here, or stronger. They suggest, posit that means suggest. We should minimize. Minimize means reduce. Building large homes. Why? Because we want to preserve nature or keep it better. So when we have here the general views, one view is very general, another view is stronger and more academic, I guess, okay? But they are both general. Do we have any questions about the views?
No.
All right. So now we're going to get to our thesis or our opinion. And here we need to say something that either agrees or disagrees or is neutral. Now, I like to say something neutral because I think neutral is important. Because this is, again, agree, disagree. I think it's stronger and it's more academic. Okay? But let me write what I say first here. Despite the varying opinions, from my point of view. So that's just structure, okay? Just to, yeah, structure. From my point of view, okay. Larger dwellings offer individuals a higher quality of life. So larger dwellings offer individuals a higher quality of life. Sounds like I agree with larger homes or disagree? Agree, right? I think it's good. However, we should ensure that constructing them does not cause negative, oh, sorry, does not lead to negative effects. Okay. So constructing them, we need to make sure that it does not lead to negative effects. Sounds like I disagree, right, with larger homes. So this is my main opinion. My opinion is that larger dwellings let's put may here, may offer individuals a higher quality of life. Okay, so that's one side. However, we should ensure, guarantee, make sure that constructing homes does not lead to or cause negative effects. So you can see how this opinion is neutral. It's neutral, okay? It looks at both sides. So that there is the introduction, okay? Where we introduce the topic. Any questions about the introduction?
No.
Okay. We're going to read it again after, don't worry. So now what we want to do is we want to go to our guide, and in our guide, we're now going to go to the first side of the agree-disagree essay, and it says here that you should write the side you think less. Whatever you think less. And you have to make sure, everyone, that we're really clearly on topic. Remember, the topic says people do not need to live in large homes. Building them is more negative. So in my case, I agree with that more. Okay?
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think that people do not need to live in large homes. And I think it is more negative for our society, okay? So I agree with this more, so I'm going to write disagree, or do I agree or disagree? No, but I'm thinking, do I agree with the topic or not? So I'm very neutral. I don't know if I agree or disagree. But I'm going to say, okay, I agree. So I'm going to write disagree first. Okay?
Okay.
And I'm going to be doing the opening. All right. I have to write an opening sentence. Okay. Then I'm going to give the first reason and explain that reason. Okay. I'll do that first. Mhm. So I'm just going to be following this structure here. And this is very important to point out. So for Agatha, who's here, that I'm just following this structure to organize my ideas.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay? All right.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start here. Okay. So to begin with, there are several reasons to disagree with the idea of people not residing in large let's see if we can try to think of what can I say. See, there's nothing really here. Well, I can say it, I'm trying to say it in a different way than just large housing. So in homes which may in homes,
Spacious homes.
thank you. Well, no, spacious is different. I want to say not residing means not living in homes. Well, I could say bigger, but bigger, if you want to choose between bigger and.
Large. Just let's use large.
I know, but I'm trying to say it in a different way here, Michelin, but I don't think that there is. And if there is.
Yeah, it is.
So in more extensive homes than is required. There you go. I said it in a more extensive just means bigger, okay? So to begin with, there are several reasons to disagree with the idea of, that's our structure sentence, people not residing let me change this to the idea that people should not reside in more extensive homes than is required. So more extensive homes, again, here just means larger than we need, basically. And that's the topic. So, this is the opening sentence to this paragraph. I'm going to discuss this. And now I should get to my first reason. So, first and most importantly, it is undeniable that the larger the home,
Sí.
Sorry. Yeah, the larger the home, might the more comfort living which it will provide. So, first and most importantly, it is undeniable that this is kind of structure, our first idea, and it is undeniable that. This means for sure, the larger the home, the more comfort living which it will provide. We discussed that already, right? We said more comfortable. So this idea says the larger the home, the more comfort living. So it doesn't really say that people should live in this though. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to explain a little bit about people need to live in these homes. Okay? So I'm going to say owing to this reality. Owing to this reality. This just means for this reason. Owing to this reality. If consists of more than let's say more than 4 members. Would be much more suitable for them to live in So I brought here townhouses, Mabel. I said townhouses. Okay? So I said larger homes will provide more comfort. So owing to this reality, if the family consists of means has more than 4 members, so there's more than 4, it would be, so it is, much more suitable, better, for them to live in large homes, better than cramped apartments. Remember cramped, Michelin?
Yeah.
Right? Very
Yes.
crowded.
Compact. I say compact. I remember.
Yeah. So it's better to
Cramp. Yeah.
cramped apartments
Yeah. It's best.
or small townhouses. Okay?
Yeah.
So you see in this sentence, I explained why it's better to live in larger homes, which was my first idea. My first idea was here. Large homes are more comfort, and my explanation is here. Mhm. Okay. Any questions about vocabulary, idea, grammar as we go along? Yes,
A question.
yeah, go ahead.
You disagree this, but in this paragraph, you typing agree, for example. You open it.
Okay, so good question. Because the question, remember the question said, go back, that people do not need to live in large homes. Do not. But in this paragraph, I'm disagreeing with the question. I disagree, and I'm saying people need to live in large homes. Okay?
Okay.
So it's just
So-
a structure. Yeah.
Okay. So in this part, I can put for example, in my opinion, disagree, but I can write in agree first, and then disagree in my exactly opinion.
Yeah,
Do you understand?
that's your opinion. Yeah. If it's
Ah,
your opinion, if you agree more, let's look at that again. So if you disagree, then you can write agree first and then disagree.
Okay.
Yeah, it's because we want to, according to our guide, we want to write what we think less first.
Okay.
Okay? So I agree more with the question. I agree. So I'm writing disagree first.
I
Okay.
understand.
Yep. We'll see as we
Because-
go more. Yeah.
No, because I think just disagree. I just write disagree, for example. No, because there are a lot of words and complicated. You put just one opinion.
Yeah. No, the more that you can think both sides, the
Yes.
better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand. It's
Yeah.
better.
I'll explain that as we go as well.
I understand.
Good. So now we did the opening and we did the first reason. So now I need to get to my second reason and explanation. Oh, okay. So I will talk about that one. And I'm gonna say, sorry, I forgot what we put in here. Oh, of similar significance we want to put. Okay. Of similar significance is that the homes that individuals reside in often play a vital role in their overall well-being. and will affect their lives greatly. Okay, so my idea here is another reason why I disagree and I think that people should live in large homes is that the homes where people live in play a vital role. This is an important phrase. This means it's very important in their overall well-being and will affect their lives greatly. So this is saying something that the house or the home is very important for people's lives. Okay?
Mhm.
Now, notice it doesn't really say the house is larger or smaller, right? Because this is my idea. So now what I need to do is explain and make the connection to the topic, which is about large homes. So, on account of this, if people live in larger homes, they may feel this may provide them with more personal satisfaction and boost their mental and physical health. So there's the connection. The connection is on account of this or because of this, that structure. So we just use an if clause here. If people live in larger homes, this may provide them with more personal satisfaction. So they feel better. And boost. What is boost?
I don't know.
Increase.
Increase. Charge, yeah. Their mental and physical health. Okay? So, you can see here that this idea was homes affect people's well-being, and then my explanation is larger homes could be better for people's health. And that's the connection there. Any questions about that one? Okay, then let's go on to closing this paragraph. Therefore, we could disagree with the suggestion that people should not be living, that people should not be building large homes. Okay. So therefore, we could disagree with the suggestion that structure, people should not be building large homes. We can also add here negative. Okay. That's exactly the question. Remember, the question says people do not need to live in large homes, so they should not build them.
Mhm.
Let's put here might be. And then we said here completely, we disagree with that. We disagree with that idea. We could disagree with the suggestion then. Okay?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. So again, in this paragraph, what we looked at was disagreeing with that idea. Okay? That's what we looked at. So now we need to get to the other side, which in my case is going to be agree. Now I'm going to write about why I agree that people don't need to live in those large homes.
Mhm.
Okay? So I'm going to start with, on the other hand, however, then the first reason, and then I'm going to explain. Okay. So now I need to agree. I don't know, I think this side sounded pretty good to me. So I need to think of something stronger than this. So let's see. All right. So on the other hand, however, there are far greater considerations to agree with the notion that we should not be constructing large homes because of its negative, detrimental means negative consequences. Okay? Well, due to lack of need and its detrimental consequences. So, on the other hand, however, there are far greater considerations to agree with the notion that this is a structure sentence, okay? Now, just so you know, Agatha, structure means we can start that way in any essay.
Okay.
It's kind of like, it's just a sentence that, just like a connector.
Mhm.
You can just say, actually, a good point here, you can just say, on the other hand.
Okay.
Oh, one thing also to keep in mind here, Agatha, so you know, I'm writing at a level 7 here. So this writing that we're doing is level 7.
Okay.
Why am I writing level 7? Well, to increase your knowledge. But just to let you know, if you just putting on the other hand, just like that, is only level 5, 6. Just that. Why? Because just putting on the other hand is too simple. and it doesn't make your essay sound strong. So I know this because, well, I just know. And the reason is because we want to make our essay sound strong. Now, it's not to say that if you put, on the other hand, you're not going to get 7. No, it doesn't mean that. It just means that if you put just on the other hand, and you put weaker ideas, it's not strong. Actually, the ideas that I'm putting here are not very strong. The ideas, this is the idea, and the idea is actually kind of general, not so strong. I'm not putting academic ideas here, that's for sure. I mean, I'm not putting university ideas, no. Always the ideas are general. But the combination of ideas and structure, oops, sorry. I'd say, oh no, what happened here? Oh yeah, there we go. The combination of ideas and structure, the combination is what makes the essay sound and look stronger. Okay?
Yes.
This here just adds more. It's called, actually, the actual call, it means academic tone. Academic tone. Sounds stronger. So we want to try and do that as much as we can. So that's why I put it here in blue though. Blue just means structure. We should not be constructing grammar. Okay? Due to, what does due to mean?
Because of.
Because of. So I said we should not be constructing large homes because of lack of, what does it mean, lack of?
Without.
Sorry, without?
Without.
Okay, lack of means not enough.
Not enough.
So here we're saying we don't need large homes because we don't need, or we don't have need. We don't have need. Lack of need, and detrimental means negative. Negative. So remember the topic said we don't need to build large homes because we don't need them. And it's negative. All right. So getting to the first idea, consider the fact that in many cases, households, which means families, Um, okay, so consider the fact that in many cases, this means the first reason, okay? This is true. If we say consider the fact, it's stronger. Households or families of 2 or 3 live in homes much larger than those of families of 5 or more. So this is the first case. So I see here, this is an example, it's trying to give us a point, but it doesn't say clearly that we don't need it, right? So now when So now what we need to do here is we need to say, what does this mean? So let's say here, due to this reality, or because of this, it can be seen that the size of the home may not be relative or may not be connected to what individuals actually require to live comfortably and adequately. Can be obtained in smaller dwellings. Okay, so there we go. So due to this reality, this example that I gave of families of 2 or 3 living in homes much larger than those families of 5 or more. So what this means is that it can be seen, or we can understand, that the size of the home may not be connected to what individuals actually require to live comfortably and adequately, since it can be obtained in smaller dwellings. So if 2 or 3 people are living in one home, but 5 or 6 are living in a home that is much smaller, but they are both getting the requirements, then why do we need to live in large homes? Now it says here, may not be connected. Okay? So what it's trying to say here is that the size of the home, again, the size of the home is not necessarily, doesn't give or may not give what we require to live. Okay?
Okay.
Now, this example, this one here, talked about we don't need to live in large homes. But it doesn't really talk about its negative. So my second example or idea, I should do that. So that's what I'm going to write about next. 1 second here, actually. So in our guide, now we need to give the second reason, we need to explain, and then we need to close. Okay. All right. So, an equally important fact is that in many cases, the construction of extensive housing projects has been destroying more and more natural land areas. Okay, so an equally important fact is that in many cases, that is structure, the construction of extensive housing projects has been destroying more and more natural land areas, which we mentioned. Now I say has been destroying because this one here is talking about from the past until now. So it's still happening. So that's why I'm using present perfect continuous. Okay? So what does this mean? So for this reason, we should be avoiding, no, wait a minute. For this reason, we should be limiting one second here. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say about the environmental effect. For this reason, the construction of such larger homes has been adding to the already adding to the high environmental of the construction industry. Okay. Let's change this to building. Okay, so for this reason, the building of such larger homes has been adding, so increasing, again, present perfect continuous, to the high environmental footprint of the construction industry. Now, environmental footprint. What does that one mean there? Who knows?
I don't know.
Side effect.
Andrew? Yeah.
The effects of construction. The bad effect.
Exactly. When we say something has a footprint, it means it leaves some negative, something behind. So in this case, environmental footprint means negative effects of this industry on the environment. Okay? So we can say has been adding or causing more environmental damage. The environmental footprint. So you can say, what is the environmental footprint of driving cars? Air pollution, right? What is the environmental footprint of tourism in the Amazon forest? What do you think, Agatha? The environmental footprint of tourism in the Amazon forest.
Tourism?
Mhm.
I don't know tourism, sorry.
Tourism is like traveling, people traveling in
Okay.
the Amazon forest.
I think the forest mate.
Right? Yeah. So do you think it's positive or negative? Many people going there.
Negative.
Yeah. Because what do the people do?
People.
Destroy. There will be agricultural land grazing as well, the hotels or whatever facilities.
Okay, that's too much, Andrew.
Okay.
Yeah. So people, when they go to the Amazon forest or places, they usually leave a lot of garbage, right?
Yes.
And they destroy areas.
Yes.
And then it affects the animals too.
Yeah. So that's what it means, environmental footprint. The negative effects on the environment. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to close this paragraph. Okay?
Okay.
So we say, consequently, we could agree that we, sorry, no. What did we put for our structure line here? It is without a doubt that, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so. We should not be living in larger homes and oh, we do not need to be.
Mhm.
Do not need to live in larger homes. And constructing them aggravate problems. Okay, consequently, it is without a doubt that is structure. We do not need to live in larger homes, and constructing them can aggravate. Aggravate, cause more. Like we know about the environment problems right now, so it can just cause more. Can aggravate problems. Okay, so in this paragraph, we looked at why we agree with the idea that living in large homes is negative, okay?
Mhm.
So, if we look now at our guide, okay, all we have to do now is just the conclusion. We need to get back to the topic and we need to emphasize our opinion. We're going to use this structure here. Okay. So, to conclude, talking about something to do with where or what kind of home we should live in. Okay? So, from our earliest days, so from the beginnings, talking about in general humanity, finding the perfect abode to call home has always been one of our priorities. So, to conclude, is our structure here. From our earliest days means throughout our history, finding the perfect abode place to live. That's what it means. To call home has always been, so it always has been one of our priorities, finding the perfect place. Okay? So notice how this sentence kind of relates to the topic. What kind of home should we live in? Or abode. And then our last sentence, above all though, so above all though, I would like to emphasize that although the size of our home may determine how we should take into account okay, so above all though, I would like to emphasize that this is structure. So let's put all here. Although, so even though, or but, the size of a home may determine how comfortable we live. So it could be true that the size of the home is important. So although that, we should take into account, or we should consider. Take into account means consider. Living harmoniously, happily together means harmoniously. We should consider living harmoniously with our neighbors and our environment. Right. That means we shouldn't cause problems. Don't be a bad neighbor. Okay, so that was our conclusion there.